Hi there, it's Ryan G. Wright with DoHardMoney.com. And I get asked a lot of questions, and the question of the day today is, what do I need to know before I buy an investment property? And I think it's really important to know that there's pros and there's some cons. The pros of buying an investment property is there's the opportunity to make some money. That money could be paid out monthly, like in a rental type situation. That money could get paid out in a lump sum. Could get paid over time if you're doing some type of seller financing or something like that. So there's some pros to that. There's also potentially some cons. Some of the cons that you can run into as you're dealing with a rental property is you're taking on some risk. And part of that risk could be that you don't make a profit. It could even be more substantial where you actually lose money. And so the question is how do I mitigate those risks? And one of the ways you can do that is following a system that has been used in the past quite successfully. Is it always successful? No. Every system is going to have flaws and problems, and markets can change. Things can go up, things can go down. Those are all things that can just plain happen in the market, and you're going to lose money on some deals if you do enough of them, but hopefully you make so much on the other ones it doesn't hurt you that much. And so it's important that you understand that there's pros and there's cons, but the upside is typically really big. Our average customer makes around $40,000 per fix and flip that they do. That's a lot of money. So how do you mitigate to make sure you don't lose money? Well, number one, you make sure that you're buying a good property, and you do that by being conservative with your values. You look at all the values and you think like a buyer and say, if I was looking to buy a home, I would start looking at the least expensive homes, and I would keep looking, going up in price until I found the one that would work for me. Well, that's the same thing you've got to do when you're valuing properties. In addition to that, rehab bids. Most people underestimate how much it's going to cost them to rehab the property, and they overestimate the value of the property. So you've got to make sure you've got those rehab bids in line. You've got to make sure that you've got to, in addition to that, you've got to make sure that you project manage well, that the rehab actually gets done on time and on budget, because each day that goes by is actually costing you money. So it's really important to know that. The other thing you've got to know when you're dealing with investment property is there's a lot of costs. You're going to have agent fees, you're going to have title fees, you're going to have taxes, you're going to have insurance. There may be transfer taxes that are involved. So you got to know those things. One of the things we did is we put a really cool calculator called the Advanced Deal Analysis together, which basically will show you all these things with a click of a button to make it quite a bit easier for that. So if you're wanting to get going in some investment properties, find those properties that are good deals, off-market properties that have equity and motivation. Make sure you value those properties correctly to reduce your risk so you have a much higher likelihood that you're going to be making money. Make sure that you do a good job in vetting the contractor and vetting the cost to do the work on the property. Make sure that you're able to get the work done substantially by project management, on time and on budget. And these things are going to be a big help to make your deals successful and not losers. I hope this is helpful. You can check us out at DoHardMoney.com and make it a very profitable day.